Welcome to another episode where we bring on live guests to help you figure out whatever small business solution you may need for your business. And so we're bringing on different guests one at a time, week to week, whenever we can get them scheduled. But today I have a very special guest, Mr. Brian Green with Mastor, who has been in the telecommunication business for a long time. And one of their main focus is empowering business communications for your business. Brian, thank you so much for being here. I know that this is a little new to you, so at the end of the day, I remember when I started doing lives, it was nerve-wracking, it was scary, but I pushed through it and I just worked on getting better. Am I great at it? Heck no, but I'm always working on getting better. So thank you so much for stepping out of your comfort zone, jumping on here. Before we dive into my questions, did you lose sleep over this?
No, I did not lose any sleep over this, and thank you, Manny, for the opportunity. I do appreciate it, and it's great to step out of your comfort zone every now and then.
This is so true. But here we are. Brian Green, I've known him now probably about a year through networking. If you've been following my social media channels, you know that I network quite a bit. And so I've grown to know Brian very well when it comes to any type of business communications. If you have a Google Voice number, if you're still with a Google Voice, this is the guy to talk to. But enough about me yapping. Let's dive into this, right, Brian? Share a little about what Mastor is.
So Mastor at our core is a business telecommunications company. That's our core business. We started in 1991. We're a local St. Louis company, family owned. We started our journey as a wholesale parts distributor for telecom parts. So we would buy equipment nationwide, bring it into our warehouse here in St. Louis, refurbish it, and then resell it out across the country. Started doing that 33 years ago personally, and it's evolved many times over the years to we started doing installations and representing the Toshiba product line, which was a fantastic product line. Unfortunately, it's not around anymore. And then we evolved into mainly a cloud services business, which we are today. So kind of my newish tagline is taking your communications from the closet to the cloud.
And what a great tagline that is.
Oh, thank you.
You see, we're networking, right? And you want something memorable. Now, is that something you just started recently?
It is. I thought that up a few weeks ago, kind of on the whim at one of the networking events.
So ChatGPT didn't help you with that one?
It didn't, actually. I used ChatGPT, but that was fresh from my own mind.
I can appreciate that. Sometimes it's just those one little things that, you're thinking and it's like, oh my God, I got to write that down. Kind of one of the things I recently had to do was like, oh my God, I got to write that down because I don't want to forget. I was talking to my wife and I was like, I like that tagline. I like that little. And so I went, boom. That's one of the nice things about these Androids. I don't know if you're an Android user, but this little money maker thing right there, I love it. But I mentioned about Google Voice. If someone is on Google Voice, share a little about the difference between you and Google Voice. And I learned something that you shared today in our meeting that I definitely want to dive into. If you happen to bring it up, I'll run with it as well. But a little difference between Google Voice, which has been around for a long time, no longer possible to get it free. At one time, you were able to get it free until now it's part of their workspace. And so I'm on Google Voice. I've been on Google Voice for many years. Talk me out of it.
Talk you out of it. So a lot of people, especially solopreneurs, started getting on Google Voice because it was free at one point in time, and it was a cheap way to kind of launch your business. However, Google Voice, there's zero service guarantees. And the big issue, Manny, is when you have an issue with your communications, your business is down. And who are you going to call to help you out with that? Google is not going to answer their phone or really provide any assistance to you. I have no idea where you would turn when your Google Voice number is down. With me, you've got me personally, you've got my team of extremely qualified technicians, and we've got a local St. Louis-based call center that operates 24/7, 365. So if your business is down, you don't have voice communications, we are always there to support you, no matter the time of day or the day of the year.
That's a huge difference maker. And you hit something very, very hard. Who can I call? Who literally can I call? Now I have the workspace, so I have but you said it, and you said it in a meeting today that really caught my attention. This past Monday, we had a blizzard, we had an ice storm. Now, dive into a little what you shared, because to me that caught my attention. And at the end, when people were talking, a few people who use his service said, guess what? My guys didn't have to worry about not having phone calls because they use Mastor. Like, explain a little of how you, like someone that was dealing with this ice storm might have been out power. What about your service?
Sure. So, as everyone's aware, Monday we had a really bad ice storm, and MoDOT and the news was imploring everyone to stay home. If you could stay off the roads, it's way too dangerous. So with a traditional phone system, you would be pretty much out of business. Your phones would be ringing and going unanswered. With our services, all of our services come with cell phone applications and desktop applications that you can run on your desktop, laptop, iPad, whatever you want to run it on. So your phones you're always in business. You are always able to communicate with your customers. So your employees don't have to drive on the ice in order to get there to unlock the doors. My team and I, Monday morning, were online. I was online at 6 a.m., changing my clients' auto attendants to announce that they would be opening their stores at noon, or they're closed for the day, or whatever their individual circumstance was. But that's the level of customer service that we strive to provide. If you have a need and your needs are changing, we're always here to help provide and facilitate and make sure you are able to communicate effectively with your client base.
And that, come on, let's be real, being able to communicate with your client base. Imagine your client not being able to get a hold of you because the phones, right? They're having hiccups. They need you to solve their problem, but yet they can't get through. That's what you're sharing is, how about not worrying about running into that? Because that's a big fear. I've heard a license branch story where no one could run credit cards, and it was a nightmare for them. The systems were down. He's offering a solution. If you're that small business or big business, right? Like, it doesn't really even matter. Like, how many people can the business have?
There's no limits on minimums or maximums. I do a lot of solopreneurs, one person running a company. Our largest client has 500 users on the system, and there's really no limit. It'll grow, and the service level just is still there, no matter how big or how small you are.
That's awesome. Something caught my attention on your website. There's AI video surveillance?
Sure. So video surveillance is probably our second largest product line, and it's a growing segment for us. So we partnered with Touring Cameras, and they have a lot of built-in AI into their camera systems. So what that means is, if there's an incident at your business, you can go to your system and you can put in search parameters, because all the incidents are saved either in the cloud or on a piece of hardware in your office. So if Manny walks by in his black and white hat, and that's all I know about what happened, I can search in there for every time somebody walked by in a black and white hat. Or if there's a vehicle incident in your parking lot, and all we know is it's a red truck and the license plate started with a 7, we can search for that using those parameters and then grab the rest of that license plate information and the make and the model of the vehicle. It's super powerful. It's really, really cool.
As someone who does true crime, I love that.
Oh,
I love that. Like when it comes to security reasons, and now that I'm in the real estate and flipping, like having surveillance footage, video is, now comparing it to, say, a Nest, what's the difference? And I don't use Nest, so it's just something, another product offering, but where would you differ there? Would that be more residential? You'll be more business?
Yeah, well, that's definitely a differentiator. It's all commercial, really, what we're trying to do. And then we would have another cell phone app there as well, where you can set up alerts and boundaries for your search and the alerts. So, for example, in our cameras at the office, I have my alerts set to only go off after business hours. So all day long, I'm not getting peppered with cell phone alerts. And that's really when you kind of want to know when something's happening anyway. And the quality of these cameras and the ability to pinpoint specific locations and read information out there is far superior than what you're going to get out of a Nest product.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, to kind of go back to what you said a little bit earlier with your new tagline, from closet
Yes.
to cloud. Let's touch on that a little bit, because I think that number one, it's so easy anymore to not want to lose a file, but this cloud-based stuff seems to be like now you have access to it anywhere. Where do you come in? Like, explain the closet version first, just in case anyone has questions on that.
So back in the day when we were doing phone systems, everything was a hardware-based solution. So
a bunch of wires.
Gotcha. So somewhere in your place of business, you are going to have a closet, and it is going to have a bunch of copper wire going to it and a cabinet with a bunch of circuit boards in it. So we are taking that. All that exists now in the cloud. Your phone system's up in the cloud instead of in a closet.
Makes sense.
So where that benefits is it never goes down. It's never susceptible to a power outage, which we used to run into a lot. I used to call it lightning season in the spring, where you get a power surge and it would blow up the phone system in your closet because you get struck by lightning. Now with it being in the cloud, you don't have to worry about any of that. There's no hardware expenses up front that you have to purchase in order to upgrade your phone system. So it's super affordable. And the installation is much simpler because we don't have to pull special wiring for your telephone.
Okay.
Telephones used to run on its own wire. Now your phones run on your data network, which is usually already in place. And if there's a location where you don't have a data drop, we can connect these phones to Wi-Fi now and run it on your Wi-Fi network.
As long as the Wi-Fi is not down.
As long as the Wi-Fi is not down.
I love it. So of all the products, it looks like you have a bunch of products. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is your favorite one to help others with?
Well, obviously the telecom solution is my favorite one. And it became really back in the pandemic, it was really kind of an eye-opening experience for me personally and us as a company, because the transition to the cloud was really slow. But when the pandemic hit, all of a sudden the whole world is working from home and they needed a solution. And fortunately, we were able to provide that. And I really felt like we were providing a very, very quality service at that point in time, and really helping keep businesses going, keep businesses alive, and really benefiting people. Aside from that, we do a ton of structured cable projects, voice and data cabling, and I'm really proud of that too. My team is just awesome, and we pull anything from one data cable to hundreds of data, voice and data cables throughout buildings and warehouses.
How old is Mastor?
Since 91. So
since 91, 33 years. Yep. And how long have you been with them?
Since 91.
Okay, listen to that, my friends. You're talking about a professional, right? You don't put in that much time and not be considered a professional. So if you're looking for someone who, number one, as you can tell, he has answers, right? He has solutions. If you're a small business and you run into any type of communication problems with your phone, this is a key guy to talk to. Now, we're in St. Louis, we're in O'Fallon, we're in these surrounding areas. Do you only cover St. Louis?
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
So my trucks roll in St. Louis. However, one of the benefits we got when we were doing Toshiba systems back in the day was one of the things they did really well was they had a national account network where we all teamed together to help each other grow our businesses and sell to national-based companies. So I still have all of those contacts, and all of these guys have kind of transitioned into what we do now. So if I need to, I can always rely on another tech that I have a relationship with that I've established over the last 30 years that I know and trust.
So for all my friends out there, a lot of us are not in St. Louis. You still have a solution. Reach out to Brian Green. We're going to tag him in this post, and then it'll be on your profile as well, because you're going to want to share this. Because here's the truth, my friends. A lot of my friends on here are small business, big business, own a business, entrepreneurs on their own, and you might need phone service. So for that, what you compared to Google Voice, how much would that service be? The one for you. Instead of going Google Voice, how much would that be for you?
About $25.
$25 a month to have reliable phone service for you and your team to get a hold of you. So that way you don't have to worry about, did the call drop? Is the call not coming through? You guys are on VoIP?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. So I'm not, this is not me, right? To me, I'm like VoIP. Help me understand a little more. Voice over IP?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just.
But it's not the cloud.
It's basically the cloud. It's the internet, essentially. It's all fancy terms for taking your phone system and putting it on the internet.
That is super awesome. My friends, as we close it out here, you can go to mastor.com. You'll see the contact. You can reach out to him. You can reach out on phone. You can find him on Facebook. So this is all the information. You see their location. But truth is, when it comes to all of this, just reach out. A phone call will go a long way than sending an email, not knowing if he got it. And that's why, like, Facebook is a great way to connect. It's easy for anyone, anywhere, because most people have Messenger on their phone. Honestly, if you want to get a hold of me, sometimes it's easier to message me through Facebook than it is to text message. My friends can tell you that. And because I'm on the go and picking up the phone is not easy for me. But here's the truth, my friends. 314-997-9000. Gets no easier to remember that, right? 314-997-9000. You'll get someone at the office. Ask for Brian Green. Otherwise, just message him through Facebook. Yep. Brian, thank you so much for being here. Any last words you want to offer? There's a lot of business people out there. What can you share?
Well, Manny, I would just like to say that feel free to reach out to me, even if you just have questions about what you have or about, what's out there. I'm happy to help. I have no issue answering questions, and I'm not going to give you any kind of pressure, sales, or anything like that. I really just want to help people with their communication. So reach out if you have any questions. I'm happy to help.
That's awesome. I can tell you, as long as I've known Brian, I've heard him speak on multiple occasions. This is why I had to get him on here, because I know that we have a lot of people out here that can use some reliable phone service to be up even when the weather is down. So I think it's key to keep Brian Green with Mastor in your back pocket, because you never know when you will need him. And as he shared, he does not only service St. Louis. So reach out to him. And he just shared, maybe you just have questions. Just a question. It doesn't mean you have to go with them. Right. But if you're looking for a reliable solution, a reliable answer, Brian Green can help you out with that. Brian, this wasn't bad, was it?
No, it was awesome. Thank you.
Good job. That was awesome. My friends, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Manny Rodriguez. This is Brian Green with Mastor. And at the end of the day, our goal is to help you. Who can we introduce you to? Do you need a telephone guy? He is the telephone guy. Is that what it is? The telephone guy? The phone guy. He is the phone guy. I should ask you that beforehand. But again, we wing it, right? I told them, there's no plan part of this. I'm gonna educate our audience on who he is and what he brings. And guess what? You've been educated. I'm Manny Rodriguez. This is Brian Green. This has been another episode of Finding That Local Help for You. Thank you for joining, and we look forward to serving you again. Peace.